Hello everyone and welcome to the Chrissy B Show, and on tonight's programme we'll be discussing losing love but then finding it again, and this of course will cover any kind of loss, be it divorce, death or a breakup. And how do you cope, especially if this loss is in your more mature years? Is it even worth trying to look for love again? Well, today I'm going to be talking about this subject with life coach Keren Smedley, and she's going to be giving us some tips and advice for all sorts of situations. But first of all, before we meet her, let's speak to Patricia with some news. Hello, Patricia.
Hi, Chris.
How are you?
How are you? Fine, thank you.
Have you ever lost love and then had to find it again?
Not that
Or did you hit the jackpot the first time?
Yes.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, me too.
I was pretty young.
It's really nice actually, but I don't know how I would react or cope actually if I was to lose my darling hubby. I think it must
Especially
be really
after
hard.
a long time.
I know, because we've been together like 20, married 15, but we've been together like 20 years. And he was like my first love as well. We met at uni, my first proper love, and you just build up so many sort of memories and things that you do together. It's just so nice, and it must be really hard for people. But there is going to be lots of advice today for those people that have lost someone. And so when did you meet your hubby then? How long have you been married?
14 years almost.
Oh, we do the same. Oh,
Yes. Long time ago.
yeah. So what news have you got for us?
Well, today I've got some awkward news.
Awkward.
You know, we always hear about firefighters going to rescue like a cat on a tree or something, these really funny things. So on the news today, there was a call to the fire and rescue service to come and rescue a little boy that got a toilet seat stuck to his head.
Oh, bless.
So they called, I don't know, 999.
Yeah.
And to come and help because his head was stuck on the
How
toilet
and
seat.
why?
But it was a portable one, you know, the kids wanted
Oh, like the potty.
like for toilet training.
Yeah, it's a potty.
So like
okay.
those plastic ones, it got stuck. So the boy was very distressed, but then he got out okay, everything was fine, no harm caused.
Oh gosh. No, actually, that reminds me of something that happened to this boy in my school. You know those kind of like those park benches. We used to have this game where we used to be able to crawl between the arm of the bench. So most of us were able to get through, but he was a little bit chubby, so he actually got completely stuck. So you can imagine like almost the whole playground is surrounding this poor boy, teasing him. They're crying. They actually had to call the fire brigade to cut the wood because he was just completely stuck. I never forget that. I felt so sorry for him. And everyone was just laughing.
And when it comes to the person gets into so much desperation, like they get desperate, oh, I'm stuck. They can't even think of ways, and they end up getting even more stuck.
It's true.
So it's even harder.
Aww. So little boys, don't put your head in toilet seats and stuff in future.
Don't.
Yeah.
Second one, kittens again. I always come up with kitten stories.
So this time,
yes. So I think I always think of you when I hear this kind of news. This time we had a little kitten that got stuck inside a washing machine.
Oh, no,
and he spent 1 hour on a 50-degree cycle.
Oh, that is my worst nightmare for my cat. Oh, the poor thing.
The lady was doing her washing, and then she just turned her back, and she didn't know the cat went inside the washing machine until after the load was finished.
Yeah.
And she opened the door, and there he was, completely unconscious. So they had to take him to the vets, give him like mouth to mouth. Eventually, he survived, and he's fine. The moment he got back home, he started going inside the dryer this time.
Oh, he wants to get dried off after all of that.
And the vet said,
so stupid.
That's cats.
Yeah.
The vet said that either you believe it or not, cats have 9 lives, right? People say.
I always check.
He's used up one.
Yeah, because my cat always follows me every time I'm going to do washing, because the washing machine's outside, and she always follows me, and she's always like sort of. I always check before, because I'm so paranoid, because that happened to a cat that we used to have when I was little. My mum luckily found the cat. It was like she saw this big ginger tail in the washroom, so she took him out first. But I always check. You should always check. Even for children, sometimes they crawl, if they're small enough, they can crawl in there.
They can crawl inside. There was something on the news
it's a big
while ago about a boy, I think, that crawled inside the washing machine as well.
It's terrible.
And you know, cats hate water, so I imagine what a nightmare it must have been for the little kitten in there. Yeah. Well,
I'm glad you survived.
Yes. Chris.
Yes.
Last month there was something very interesting going on. It was called Armpits for August.
Armpits?
Yes. So what they've decided to raise funds for charity. Women decided to stop shaving and waxing and go let their hair grow for the whole month of August. So I don't know if we have some pictures. Well? Yes.
Oh, sorry, that's gross. I'm sorry, that is really gross. Even though I know it's for charity, but
will you do that for charity?
Never. I'm sorry, never.
I think I would do a lot of things for charity, but I don't think I would be able to do this one.
I'm sorry for those that like to go natural, but the thing is, if it was in August.
Yeah, in August.
So it was like, okay, the weather's hot, you're going to be stinky as well. No matter how much deodorant you put under there, it's not going to do anything, is it? No, I would never do that for charity, so I'd rather do something else. And it just doesn't
look nice as well. Like, you lift up your arm, like we saw the picture of Julia Roberts and other actresses. You lift up your arms. I just think
it's very unfeminine. Although in some countries, the men actually like that. Mm-hmm. They like sort of when women leave their legs to go all hairy and like they have their like beard. So our cameraman's cringing over there. No, you don't like that look as well? No, okay.
I once went on a trip to a country, different country, and we were on the swimming pool, and I saw these two ladies. They came to swim just to have some fun by the pool, and they had like their armpits were very hairy, their legs, and it was the first time I saw that. And I was still young, I think it was kind of my teenage years, and I was shocked. Only afterwards I realized that some countries it's the culture, it's part of their culture to just go all natural.
Yeah, I suppose the men like it, it feels all soft and nice.
No, it doesn't feel soft.
I'm sorry, I think it's horrible.
It does not feel soft.
Matter of opinion, I suppose, because it depends on the country, as we said, but
yeah, if it's a cold country, but even so, I think there's no excuse. No.
No, I won't be trying that.
I don't know why, they were saying women were born with hair and this is how we are and why hide it, but now even men have started to shave, to wax.
I don't like it when men shave things, because sometimes I don't know if I should say this on TV, but my husband kind of threatens to take off his chest hair, which I always say never, because I like it. I think it's masculine, it's nice, but he just teases me because he knows that I like it. But I don't agree with men shaving.
But some sports figures, they like if they are swimmers or things like, they need to wax because they say it affects the way that their performance.
That's the metrosexual male as well. But I just think men need to have hair because they're men. And
men can go all natural, but not women.
No, the other way.
The men can go.
Oh, men, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But women,
no.
Another story with pets again.
I've got hairy armpits in my mind now, so just to concentrate. Yeah.
Julia Roberts. A bizarre wedding. I think he's a famous celebrity, he's a presenter on TV. He got married and he had his 4 dogs to be part of the wedding ceremony. So the dogs walked down the aisle. Aww. They had a special table for them with dog treats. They even had some kind of a champagne with a different taste. What is it again? No, chicken broth beer for them. And cakes topped with flowers and little dog treats. They've spent, I think, £3,000 just on that. They even had a creche just for the dogs during the wedding, so it doesn't get boring for them. They had like beds for them to go and take a nap in the afternoon. So it's a very bizarre wedding that went on.
I'm hearing more and more about sort of the way, like these kind of things for pets now. I mean, the pets don't care, do they really? They don't care if there's a bed there. They're just, as long as they're close by to their owner or whatever, they love it. I don't think they care. Like £3,000 on a dog. Come on.
You don't know it's a wedding. Yeah. For them, it's just maybe if it's a wedding or like in a country house or something. For them, it's just a day in the park and just playing.
Yeah, it's true.
And there are 4 of them, so I think they're all like brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
So they all live together. So they all.
But then someone else would argue, if you've got the money, why not? If you've got an extra £3,000 to throw around, just spend it on the dogs.
Or you could spend it on something else more important.
Or give it to charity so women won't have to walk around with hairy armpits. So they can raise it for that.
Still on dogs. This photographer, Sebastian Magnanis, everybody says that dogs look like their owner, the pets look like their owners. So he actually went, of course, with the help of some Photoshop, and he's put the picture of the owner, the dog's face on the picture of the owner. I don't know if we have a view. They are very weird pictures, but they do look alike.
Do you think?
It's the same, of course, the same hair, the same outfit.
I don't really see the resemblance myself.
I don't think my dog looks like me, though. No, my dog. Does your cat look like you?
No, but she acts like me.
She's got the eyes like you.
Maybe the eyes. Yeah, I've got a bit cat's eyes, but I think her kind of personality is very similar to mine in the sort of sense that she's very friendly and like she just goes and talks to people. She's like that. She's really, really friendly.
I think dogs adapt to your kind of personality.
Yeah.
So I was dog sitting for a few months for a friend, and her dog came into my house, and she was all jumpy and bubbly, up and down, messy, very playful. But because I don't have much time to be that up and down, playful owner, so by the time she left, she was more quiet, more relaxed.
She's more like you.
She was exactly.
I suppose they do
she
adapt,
kind of
don't they?
adapt to our environment, to our family, to our characters, our personalities.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have a puppy, right?
Yeah.
I told you now.
Oh yeah, I've seen
I
the
have
pictures.
a puppy,
They're lovely.
so I'm hoping that by the time she's a bit older, she will be more peaceful,
like you.
like me.
Thanks very much, Patricia, for the news.
Are we done?
And yeah, all done. We're going to go to a quick break, and then afterwards we're going to be joined by love expert Keren Smedley to talk about finding love again. So do join us after this. Welcome back, and we are speaking all about finding love again today. And if you want to get involved and send an email to ask a question or to give a comment, you can do so on chris@chrissybshow.tv. But we've got back with us here today. We have Keren Smedley, who is a life coach and love expert. Hello, Keren.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you again. So this is a kind of tricky subject because, like I was saying at the beginning, I can't imagine being with any other person other than my husband, like, you know, if anything was to happen. And just having built up so much over the years, and we met when we were teenagers and we were friends for a couple of years first. So we've gone through so much together, and it must be very hard for people to then, once they lose someone, whether it be a death or a divorce or something else, it must be very hard for someone to then move on and find someone else.
It is very hard for people to move on, and I think it's also different as to whether if you've divorced or you've been bereaved. Because when you've been divorced, it means that something didn't work in the relationship. And when you're bereaved, the relationship may have been terrific, and sadly the other person died. So you're not left with all those things as you are in a divorce about, did I do it wrong, or am I not able to love somebody, and am I, you know, unlovable or difficult, or all of those kind of things, or unattractive. Whereas when you're bereaved, it's very sad, and you have to get over that loss, which is really difficult, but it's not the same.
Okay, so let's talk about bereavement first for the viewers that are watching that. Maybe they have lost their nearest and dearest, and they know they have to move on, but they can't even imagine at the moment being with someone else. They're so, like, that was maybe their first love, or that's someone that they've been with for years. What advice would you give to that person?
I think it's really okay to not want to move on for a while. And you don't actually have to have another relationship. Although your friends might well say to you, you know, why don't you get out and meet other people and whatever. If it's not right for you, it's not right for you. So I think it's also about really giving yourself time. If you've been with somebody for a long while, and you've actually very often been with them while they've been ill for a long while, it's going to take time. So give yourself time, allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to miss the person. And only when you feel ready and feel that, yes, I would like to begin to, you know, meet somebody different, then and only then do it.
How do you know though when you're ready? Say if you have lost someone, because it's quite a scary thought, because maybe if you have been for someone for so long, you're kind of not in the dating scene anymore, or you haven't been meeting people for a long time, and it's quite maybe you feel, okay, now it's time. I think I want to be with someone. I don't want to be by myself anymore. I'm feeling lonely. But to actually get out there and start meeting people again, how do you go about that?
Well, I think the first thing you do is start getting out there to do things that you want to do. I think this, I want to meet someone and where am I going to find them, and everywhere I go I'm searching for someone, doesn't really work.
Yeah, I agree.
It's about what interests me. Well, I'm really interested in hiking, so I'll join a group and I'll go and I'll make friends and I'll meet different people who weren't part of our social circle, so I can begin to be just me, not the person who's lost someone. Because when you're with your friends, they're all worrying about, are you okay, because they're all in it with you in your bereavement. When you meet someone and you're on your own and they didn't know you in the previous life, you then can begin to be yourself. But it's about...
That's a good point, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely, because you then, you're yourself, and that's who they've met.
And there's not that pressure as well, because if you've got all your friends around you and you know what they're thinking, and like you're saying, you can't sort of just relax and just be you and just without someone always asking, are you okay?
Exactly.
Is everything all right? Because that's probably annoying as well after a while.
After a while it is, and also it reminds you, every time you say, are you okay, it throws you back to what you're not okay about. And immediately you're back in that pain. And it's very easy to relive any pain again in your head. And actually what you don't want to be is asked if you're okay. You want to actually be able to be okay and be allowed to say, I'm not happy here and I want to go home. And your friends not try and then jolly you along saying, oh, you'll be fine in a minute. Actually say, okay, that's fine, you go home and come out next time.
So this show is actually good for friends of people or family of people that have lost someone, because sometimes we try to do the right thing and we try to be helpful and we try to be understanding, but we can end up even making things worse for the person. So it's quite useful tips for that as well. But like I said, I really do agree with sort of not going out there and looking, physically looking for people and doing things that you enjoy, because I think it's a more natural way of meeting someone. Plus they see who you really are. Because that's the way, for example, that I met my husband. I wasn't looking for anyone, but we were just friends and we were studying the same course, and I got to like him and really liked his personality. Really sweet guy, and that's when I fell for him. So sometimes it's just a matter of just going out there. We used to sit in the canteen together and talk, so we built that relationship over time, and then it just happened. So well, it didn't just happen, I went after him actually. But anyway, I made it happen. But anyway, so I think it's a really good point just to be yourself and just do the things that you like.
And also not imagine you're going to meet someone the first time you go anywhere. Go out to meet friends. Because other people, new friends, will have friends of theirs and they'll invite you to dinner or they'll invite you to a party and you might meet someone through them. So actually think, I want to make some new friends, because then you behave very differently than I need to meet a partner. Because you're anxious about, am I attractive enough, and am I this enough, am I that enough, whereas actually meeting friends, you're just natural.
That's so true. Very good points here. Okay, let's talk about divorce now. So couples that have been all together a while, they've thought that they need to go their separate ways now because they can't find a solution for their problems. Now, I would imagine there's a lot of insecurity happening there, because especially let's talk about women, for example. Maybe they think, oh gosh, I got it wrong here. What if I get it wrong again? They want someone, but they're afraid to move forward now because they're afraid of the same thing happening again.
And that definitely happens. And I think what's really important is, before you start another relationship, is to really think about what went wrong. Because it's never just the other person. However angry you are with them, it's never just them. It's something that happened in the relationship. So it's about taking responsibility for yourself, about what part you played. And
that's a very difficult thing to do sometimes for people, isn't it? Because you're, like I said, you're so angry and you're so, oh my gosh, everything went wrong, and maybe there's children involved and they've been hurt as well, and to actually acknowledge your mistakes. But we have to do that. We definitely have to do that. Absolutely,
and for many people they actually need help. I do think it's a time when you can go and see a life coach, you can see a counsellor. It doesn't mean that you're not managing, it means that you're getting some help to really look at yourself. And it is hard to look at ourselves and say, for example, well, perhaps I was a bit of a nag, or perhaps I did always stop him going out with his friends. It's actually important. And I think so it's really important to know yourself, and also to know that you're no longer hankering after your ex. Because while you want your ex and then I go to meet someone else, it's never going to work. So you really need to be over it. And again, it takes time. And it depends on what happened. If you're the person who decided the relationship wasn't working, you're in a very different place than if the other person says, you know, I'm done with you, and you feel really rejected. Again, it has a different effect.
It definitely does. Say if you were the one that was rejected. So that's I think that's obviously a much worse,
it's hard. It's very
much worse place, because then you're thinking, oh, what's wrong with me? You've gone through that process of sort of analysing yourself and thinking, okay, I've recognised some certain mistakes, I'm going to change that, but you still feel rejected at the end of the day.
Yes, you do feel rejected, and actually while you go on feeling sorry for yourself, you're not going to be much fun for anyone who meets you. So it's about really being able to say, that was an experience, I learnt lots, I got something from it. Very often people actually have, you know, beautiful children, and you know, they've actually got something from that relationship, and then say, so what do I want in the future? And I think it's really important not to just go rushing out. I think, although it sounds a bit cold, to actually really think about, what am I looking for? What kind of person would be good for me? And to really know that before you start looking.
Yeah, and to actually appreciate that you can sort of find someone again, because it's not the end of the world. A lot of people think, oh, now I'm divorced, no one's going to want me, I've got all this history, I'm not going to risk it. But there's always like an opportunity to meet someone else, and it's not the end of the world. You have that chance again, and you can meet someone. And like you said, you've got the benefit of hindsight now. You can look back and say, I did that wrong, or maybe I went for the wrong kind of person as well. Because some women or men, they do go for the wrong person. They get together with the person for the wrong reasons, or you know, they rushed into things. They didn't really know the person well enough before they got together with them. But now you've got that. You know, you've seen what's happened before, so you're going to be extra careful in the future.
And also, if you have been married, let's say 10 or 15 years, you're not going to be looking very often for somebody who hasn't also been through similar experiences. You're unlikely to meet someone who hasn't ever had a relationship. So, so they too will have experiences of their past. So it isn't as though you're meeting people who've never had relationships and they take a look at you and go, oh no, I don't want this one because she's been out with somebody or married to somebody or whatever. You're looking for someone who's probably the same age as you, rather than
who's been through the same,
absolutely
made the same mistakes probably.
Absolutely. And both want to make a different relationship.
Okay, so Keren, after the break, we're going to be showing you a couple of sketches of people that are out on dates, and we're going to just see sort of the things that maybe these people are doing wrong. Because like we say, maybe even like, maybe it's just a breakup, you were with someone for like a few months and you don't seem to be getting it right. So we're going to look at these sketches and get some advice from Keren on what could be done differently. So like I said, if you want to get in touch, do email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Join us after this. Welcome back to our Finding Love Again programme, and let's take a look at this sketch and then get Keren's advice.
What are you doing at the weekend?
Not a lot really. I think I'm just going to sit in maybe. I think, oh no, actually I'm meeting up with some friends. We're going to go out for a drink on Saturday night. And that's it really. You any?
Yeah, well I don't know, it depends what you're doing. Where are you going to go?
Well, just the pub, the local pub. That's it really, just have a drink.
What's the local pub there?
Well, Maid of Muswell, in Muswell Hill.
Okay.
I'm just going to go there, yeah.
Okay, can I come?
Yeah, you can come along if you want. Yeah,
okay.
Do you want to come along?
Yeah.
Me and my friends, you know, it's...
well, me and my friends were actually thinking of trying that pub anyway, so maybe I'll just go with my friends and then you'll be there and then we can all sit together.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Anyway, I'm probably going to need a drink at the weekend after the week I've had. It's been so annoying and draining. Yeah, just like generally people just getting on my nerves all the time. People at work all the time just like graining at me, going on at me. My friends are...
Yeah.
Like, because you've got a problem, why do you have to put it on me all the time? It's like I'm constantly just like helping, and it's just like really draining me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really need to start going to the gym a bit more and stuff like, because I just really want to like get toned up and stuff and like work hard, look good, you know, especially if we're going to be going out like every weekend now.
Every weekend.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. You don't mind if I come out, do you? You would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, I would say.
What did you do last night?
Just stayed in the flat.
You stayed in the flat?
Yeah, stayed in the flat.
I thought you said you were going out.
No.
You did? You said you were going to go out.
Did I?
Yeah, you said you were going to go meet your friend, Daniel or something like that.
Well, Daniel's my housemate, so I live with Daniel.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Sure it's not Danielle? And that does not stick in my memory that you said that you were going to like stay in with your flatmate. You said, I'm going to go out and meet Dan.
Well, I did. I stayed in.
All right, whatever. Yeah, cool. Yeah,
Well, no,
whatever.
I don't know anyone called Danielle.
All right, fine. I'm just saying that you said you were going to go out and clearly you didn't. So obviously there's something that's not quite truthful here.
I can't be bothered with this at the moment. I'll be right back. Fucking joke. What are you doing?
So your phone made a noise. Like someone texts you. What's the problem? That's normal.
It's none of your business. You don't check
Yeah,
my
but if
phone.
somebody
Why do you check
take
my phone
because it was
for
ringing.
Danielle.
Back to what I was saying before about my friends and stuff. They've just been draining me just like you are now, just expecting me to just constantly give my all and just get nothing back but just lies and just being completely taken advantage of, to be honest. Ooh, God, I need a drink now. Anyway, whatever, let's just move on from it. So what are we doing after this then?
Oh, I don't know. What do you want to do?
I thought you said that you were going to like, you know, we could go for a drink or something, do something fun. I don't want to go home on my own, you know. I don't want to go home on my own. Why should I?
Oh dear, there's quite a lot to talk about there. So we see that things progressively getting worse and worse. So there's a young lady who's obviously looking for love. She's kind of got herself someone, but at the same time she's also managing to push him away. What did you think of those sketches and what was going on there?
Well, I think what was interesting at the start is that he wasn't interested when they started, and she didn't pick that up. So all the way through, their body language was completely different. And when you're actually really in tune with someone, you find that you're sitting the same way as them, you're talking at the same pace as them, your tone of voice is similar, and they were totally mismatched. So the communication, instead of going sort of, you know, nicely like this, was absolutely like this, right from the word go. And she didn't pick up any of his cues and became more and more anxious about what was going on. And if she'd have just stopped and thought and let him talk, then it may have been different. One of the things that's really important is that when we get to know someone, is we want to be able to talk about ourselves as well as hear about them. And if you just go on, as she did, rather whining on, I have to say,
It's slightly.
it's just tedious. And then she sort of, you know, became anxious. I think what she did do is pick up that he wasn't interested. And then she started on every other thing about what it might be. You know, is it me you don't like, or is it this, or is it that? And that's what she then became more and more anxious. And anxious, insecure people aren't pleasant to be around.
So maybe she's obviously had some baggage. Maybe she's had bad luck in love. Things haven't really gone right for her. So she's obviously gone into that date. Obviously, it's a pretend one, you know that. Sure. But she's gone into that date already with that pressure of, oh my gosh, is this going to be the one? Am I going to get... And I think maybe a lot of people that do date others, they already feel a lot of pressure because they're thinking, oh, I need this. Is this one going to work? Is this going to be the one? Is this going to go right for me? And they're not being themselves. They're not just going out maybe just to enjoy, to have fun, to enjoy themselves, and they already kind of spoil it before it's even started, really.
And also she made assumptions like, we're going to go out every weekend. They'd hardly actually been out for one weekend, let alone every weekend. And he also wasn't straight, because he didn't say, when she said, do you mind me coming along with your friends, when clearly he did, he should have said, yes, I do. I actually want to go out with my friends.
Maybe he was just trying to be polite.
Well, he mismatched, you see, because what happens is that we do pick up body language, and our non-verbals is about 90% of our communication.
Yeah.
So we pick it up, and somebody then says, yes, I'm happy for you to come, which actually isn't what you know's happening. So then you don't know what to do about it. So what then happens is you then start saying things like, well, are you really happy that I'm come? And you then sound as though you're a nag. But what you should be saying is, do you know, you say you're happy that I can come with you, and what I'm getting the message is that you're not really. Because then at least you begin to have an honest dialogue. And if you are going to have a relationship with someone, you need to be able to be honest and have that kind of difficult...
Right from the start.
Absolutely, and have some of the difficult conversations. Because if you've got someone who's pretending all the time, which is what she began to believe, then you're in trouble.
Definitely. It's not easy, is it, dating, and especially if like you've been getting it wrong a few times. But she also struck me as someone that was quite desperate in a way as well, the way she was coming across, and very insecure as well. So he was kind of more relaxed and everything, but she went in there sort of full force, like very needy, very insecure about herself. So she also struck with someone that doesn't really value herself very much. She didn't sort of really try to hold back or have any, maybe even self-respect.
Well, yes, I mean, I think that's what it looked like, and what we don't know is if what happened was because he wasn't giving anything, she then went into overdrive.
Slightly.
You know what happens sometimes when someone isn't giving something to you, suddenly find yourself over-talking and talking rubbish just to try and fill a space or whatever. And it felt a bit as though that was what she was doing. And she then dug herself lots and lots of holes, rather than actually saying, you know, I don't think this is going very well. I think it's about verbalizing how you're feeling, and I think what so often happens is we don't verbalize it and we think the other person hasn't picked it up, and yes, they have.
And they have already. Wow. Oh, shall we take a look at a sketch of how the date could have gone?
You should do your novel, really, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I
if
suppose
you like
I should.
it.
Yeah. Just need an idea. I haven't got any ideas at the moment.
Maybe we can think of some together.
Should we think of one right now?
Okay.
We've had such a nice time tonight as well.
Thanks. I didn't know what kind of stuff you went by. I thought Greek's nice. And it's healthy as well. So I thought, you know.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. Like, it's perfect pick.
This Saturday, a few of us are getting together, just a load of writers and things, meeting up at the pub.
Okay.
Just to see how work's going. Because we all train together. But I mean, if you wanted to come along, you're more than welcome if you wanted to.
Yeah, sure, I want to. Yeah, I think I'm around as well, actually. That sounds good. Yeah,
cool,
yeah. I'm sure that's fine.
Excellent.
Thank
cool.
you. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no worries.
Kind of early, so like we can still go somewhere else.
I'd love to. Like, maybe we could go to cinema or something.
Of course. What do you want to see? What kind of films do you like?
I like action films. I like horrors as well. So what do you like?
Action as well. I like horrors because they're kind of really stupid. Like, I love laughing
I love it too. You know, those spoof ones.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind, like, sort of just not wasting money on these girly, go out on these big wild holidays. I've sort of done them before, so I'm thinking of just maybe do a nice couple of weekends, do something a bit more civilised. But yeah, no, I'm not going to do a big holiday. What about you?
What do you want to do after that?
Anything. I mean, like, we can go far, we can chill. I mean, we can come and jam. I mean, if you're still hungry after that, I can cook up something.
Yeah. No, I don't mind cooking.
Oh, no. Let me. I'm the chef. Let me.
I don't really get a lot of time for it anymore. There's other things to do. But I go out now and again, like this thing Saturday and various other things. But like you said, there's a lot of things to do, isn't there? It's hard to fit it in.
So what type of hobbies do you like doing?
Well, I sing, so I like singing, obviously.
It's amazing.
I like going to gigs, seeing other artists around and stuff like that. It's really good to kind of network and whatnot. But you, what do you like?
No, I'm really into gigs as well, and like music.
Cool.
I like a lot of music.
Did you want some dessert or anything? Or
No, that's fine.
You sure?
No, it's fine with I mean, I think I've eaten enough already.
Yeah,
this has been great. Thanks so much.
No worries. No, it's been good. Really good to meet you.
Yeah, no, it's been nice.
Yeah, cool. Any plans after, or?
I think I'm quite tired. I'm probably just going to like maybe go home.
Cool. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think home as well.
Oh, who do you like?
Well, I like Beyonce.
Serious?
Really
You know she's coming in May.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, serious?
Yeah,
You wanted to go, yeah?
Yes.
I think I can sort something out. I know a few people. I can sort something out. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah.
She's really good. Do you like her?
Of course, like, who doesn't like Beyonce? Like, she's the queen,
amazing,
isn't it?
right?
Yeah.
Well, look, if you wanted, we could have another coffee if you want and chill out and talk some more. We can chat some more and...
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I'm not in too much of a rush, just don't
cool.
want to
All right,
have
we'll
a
have a few coffees and then...
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, cool.
We should do this more often as well. I think we should catch up.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do it enough. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we don't do it enough.
I've had a really nice time. Do you want any more drinks or anything? Should we get some more wine, do you think?
Do you want more wine?
I would like some more wine.
Let's get more wine.
Welcome back. We've heard lots of great advice today from Keren about how to find love again and how to get over those emotions. We're going to be talking also about something else that's very important. But first of all, let's take a look at this video of a very interesting and different place to visit. I'm here with Matt, who's the general manager here of the Ice Bar in Hedden Street, and we just thought we'd had to check this place out because it is unusual. And so Matt, how did the idea actually come about for this ice bar?
Well, 3 guys got together one day and said, let's do an ice bar. They'd seen the Ice Hotel, they knew what it was all about, and the Ice Hotel is really the mother of the ice bar. And yeah, that's how it all came about.
Okay, so Matt, we're in the downstairs part now, and I don't see any ice here, so what's this area for here?
Well, this is our lovely warm lounge bar and restaurant, so let's have a look. So this is the Reindeer Lounge. It's a lovely little intimate room. I think it's great. You feel like you're really in the thick of it. You've got the cocktail bartenders working in their magic behind the bar. You've got the DJ behind us. It's a really great place to lose a few hours.
Wow, look at this. Matt, what's the temperature down here? Because I'm starting to get quite cold.
Yeah, the temperature is about -6 or -7. 40 minutes at -7 is generally enough for most people. After that, join us for dinner, join us for a drink, get warm. That's the idea. It's, the heart of our concept is the ice, and the ice that comes from northern Sweden from this beautiful river called the River Torne. This is where we harvest all the ice and make all the glasses and all the walls, and you can see the ice. It's just there's all these beautiful stress marks from where it was formed in this river, and you can't make that. It's completely natural.
That's somewhere different. You can take someone for a first date, maybe. It's certainly interesting.
Absolutely. You'd have to dress warm, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
otherwise within 5 minutes you'd be miserable and just think about how cold you were.
Yeah, it's true. Even with that big thing, well, you still get really cold. But you're not allowed to stay there, I think, for more than half an hour until you come out again and go back in. So, Keren, sometimes, we were talking about this during the break, sometimes people do find it hard even to forgive themselves, and they keep beating themselves up as well because they said, oh, I did so many things wrong. If only I'd done this better, if only I was kinder, if only I was more understanding. So the people go through those kind of emotions and they find it hard to forgive themselves and even move on from that.
Yes, and every time you do that, you add another nail into your misery. So you have to learn to say stop. And what's the purpose of doing this? Is it actually helping me? And probably not. So if I wasn't very kind, then think, what could I do in future to be kind? So that you begin to focus on what you could do. But much better is to focus on, how do I want to be in the next relationship? So you begin to create the new you. So if you know that you were somebody who always moaned, think about it and think, well, what do I want to be? Well, I'd like to be somebody that's positive. How would a positive person respond? Because you can have a problem and deal with the problem and deal with it positively, or you can moan on, and every evening when you get back from work, you go on about the same people that were terrible at work, rather than actually saying, I've got a problem at work, what am I going to do about it? Because unless you're going to do something about it, there's no point even thinking about it.
And we have to realise as well that everyone makes mistakes, and we all do things wrong. And for me as well, I love to sort of soul search and try to improve myself and improve. And I always like to hear opinions from, especially my husband, because he knows me the most, better than anyone. He's with me all the time, or most of the time. So he sees my mistakes more than anyone. And no, he's not the type of person that will sort of just throw things in my face or anything like that. But when he sees something, he says, look, Chris, you know, it wasn't nice what you said, where you're thinking. And I always take that on board, or if it's a close friend, for example. And initially I feel really bad about myself, and I think, oh God, I didn't realise I was like that. But then it doesn't last long. I might beat myself up for a little while, but I don't continue doing that. Because I know, okay, it's nice, it's good that I've seen something different that I need to change, and then I work on it. And for me, it's kind of exciting to discover things about myself, and then think, okay, that wasn't good, so I'm going to develop this part of myself and be better in this. So I think that's what sometimes people don't do. They just get so upset with themselves that they just go into this kind of depression mode and think, oh, I'm not good enough anyway, so no one's going to want me like this, so I'm not going to bother even trying. But you can change. Anyone can change.
And the only way you know about yourself is by other people giving you feedback. So we have a very blinkered view of ourselves. But if you give me feedback, I then have to listen to it and think, is it that no one else has said this? Is this Chrissy just saying it, and no one else has said it? So I then can ask a couple of friends. And if they go, no, actually, she's quite right.
Not
absolutely. And they say she's quite right. Then I can think about, okay, so I've now got an opportunity to change. And if it is only you, and you have a different perspective to other people, I can say, well, that's interesting. That's what she thinks, and it isn't the general view, so I'm interested in her view, but I don't need to do anything about it myself. But the only way we can develop is by getting feedback. So it's actually, we should be delighted with the people who care about us enough to give us feedback. Because very often what we do is we think of something about someone, and we have a whole conversation in our head about, I can't believe they're doing this, or whatever. But we don't actually then talk to them. And your husband really loves you and cares about you, so he wants to say, yesterday when you said X, it wasn't the nicest thing you could say. So he helps you to develop.
That's right.
He also does it from a position of love. So when people give you feedback that might be a bit difficult, but you know they're doing it honourably to help you, you can hear it. The feedback that's hard is when somebody says something that's just plain nasty.
Just
and you
to
know
prove
it's
a point,
exactly,
maybe, or,
exactly. And then it hurts because it's actually negative and unpleasant, and somebody being nasty to you will make you feel bad.
Definitely,
Without
so
any
feedback
doubt.
definitely is a good thing. And you should ask for it, even if someone doesn't offer it. Sometimes
Absolutely.
just ask, you know, how do you think I'm doing? What do you see in me that you think I could be better at, or think I can improve? It's scary to ask, because no one likes to hear, oh, you know, you need to work on that. No one likes to hear that initially, but afterwards you really appreciate it because you see yourself develop and grow. And like I said, it's an exciting journey, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now for the viewers, Keren, that are watching now, that maybe they think they found love, maybe they've met someone else now, and things maybe are not going so well, and I think in that kind of position they're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be a waste of time if I then break up with this one and then start all over again. Especially, I think, you know, I was talking to some friends that are sort of like in their 30s, 40s. They feel like it's a waste of time, that if they start again, break this one up and then start again, because they're thinking, oh, I've wasted so much time already. What would you say for that?
Well, I would say hold on a minute, and actually if there are alarm bells and the person isn't giving you what you need, so if you're with someone and you're actually thinking their conversation's really dull, imagine listening to that conversation for 30 years, you don't want to do it.
No.
So it's really important to think of the alarm bells for you. For example, some people will find that they meet someone who then becomes very possessive and doesn't want them to go out with their friends. And actually they had a life before, they want to go on seeing people, and for them it doesn't feel comfortable. Well, talk to the person and say, this is what I need in a relationship. And if they're not able to do it, then they're not the right person for you. It's really important to look at the red flags that come up.
Definitely, yeah.
And actually think, this isn't for me. There isn't going to be anybody who's perfect. So people who have a fantasy is I'm going to meet Prince Charming and it'll all be marvellous. It's just
Doesn't happen.
It's never going to be
No,
like that. But it needs to be really more than good enough. So there's the odd thing that irritates you, but not that you're sitting there all the time thinking, oh, I can't bear this.
Yeah.
And also, if you've been in a relationship before and you've got children, if the new person isn't keen on your children and forever is saying, you know, when are they going to your ex, or why don't they go upstairs, you need to again think, is this what I want? Because I actually want somebody who joins into my family as it is.
I think it will be actually very interesting to do a whole show on that, because that's so deep, that subject as well,
Absolutely.
like meeting someone when you've already got kids and stuff. But we'll leave that for another show, Keren.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for all your lovely advice today, and I'm sure the viewers at home have benefited from that. And you know, like we said, you will find someone again. Don't ever think that, you know, you're not good enough or you've been through too much. There are people all the time that are finding love again, and they're loving the new partner just as much as they did the old one, even more sometimes. So it can happen for you as well. So definitely don't give up on love. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time on the show. And if you want more information about Keren tonight and also anything else about the show, you can visit the website chrissybshow.tv. Bye bye for now.
Oh my God! Yes! All right! Come on, you sure you need one more step? I'm coming down! One more, that's it! I'm scared! Yeah! Alright! Oh. Hey, I did it!